Welcome to Empathy Training. My name is Rochelle Harris, and I'm a student at Colorado Christian University. The professor is Dr. Mark Knox. I will be speaking about Jesus and how his life and teachings show forth empathy. We, as the future of counseling, have a faith-based clinical perspective. This means when we counsel others, we are centered on Jesus in all we say and do. We may not be able to speak about Jesus at times, but we will show forth the love of Christ in how we approach each client with respect, empathy, compassion, honesty, and love, and in an ethical manner. As we move forward in our presentation, we will be speaking about the many examples of how Jesus showed forth empathy in the New Testament of the Bible. Jesus is the ultimate example of how we as human beings should show forth compassion, love, and empathy. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus is teaching a multitude of people who have heard and seen what he has done. He goes up on the side of the mountain and begins teaching his sermon with the Beatitudes. He then continues to tell us that we are the salt of the earth, and what good is salt if it loses its savor? Jesus continues to tell us that we are to love our enemies and to not seek revenge. This is unlike the Mosaic law that taught tooth for tooth, eye for eye, and to hate our enemy. In the book of Matthew, we learn this is not so. Jesus teaches us the very concept in a few verses. If someone slaps you, turn the other cheek. If you are sued or your shirt, give them your coat also. If someone asks you to carry their things for a mile, carry them for 2. Jesus wants to give us to give to those who ask and never turn away from those in need. This is compassion and empathy at its very heart. In Matthew 7, we learn that Jesus tells us not to judge one another, or we will be judged. We need to take the log out of our own eye before we get the speck out of our brother's eye. The Sadducees and the Pharisees despised Jesus and his growing popularity, so they devised plans in the New Testament to seek revenge and ultimately crucify him. In their plotting while Jesus was teaching at the temple to a crowd, they brought forth a woman caught in adultery. They knew that the Mosaic law said that she must be stoned. Jesus showed this woman mercy in her shame and guilt. As the crowd watches intently, they ask Jesus, "What do you say?" He calmly stoops down and writes in the dust. When they keep demanding an answer, he says, "All right, but let the one who has never sinned throw the first stone." Then he sits down and starts writing in the dust again. They all slink away, of course. All that's left is the woman and Jesus. Jesus says to the woman, "Where are your accusers? Did not even one of them condemn you?" She answers, "No, Lord." Then he says the most empathic, beautiful response, "Neither do I. Go and sin no more." In the Gospel of John 4, we learn of the woman at the well. Jesus asks his disciples to go into the village to buy food and tells them he is tired and will wait at the well. The woman comes to draw water, and Jesus asks her for a drink. She is taken aback because Jews and Samaritans have nothing to do with each other. His reply is full of wisdom. If you only knew the gift God has for you and who you are speaking to, you would ask me, and I would give you living water. She questioned him and asked how he gave her better water than her ancestor Jacob. And anyone who drinks this water will soon become thirsty, but those who drink the water I give will never be thirsty again. It becomes a fresh bubbling spring within them, giving them eternal life. Jesus then tells the woman of her life. She believes he is a prophet and asks why everyone has to go to Jerusalem to worship the Lord. Jesus reveals to her a time is coming when they will worship the Lord in spirit and truth, because God is spirit. Therefore, we must worship him in spirit. She tells Jesus she knows the Messiah is coming, and Jesus reveals, "I am the Messiah." In her excitement, she leaves her water jar and tells everyone about the man who told her everything about her life and everything she had ever done. Mary Magdalene was born in Magdala. We are not told much about her in the Bible, yet she is one of the most important women in the New Testament. Mary was healed by Jesus. It is said he cast out 7 demonic spirits. The Bible also tells us in Luke chapter 8 that she is one of the women that followed Jesus and financially supported him and the disciples. Mary Magdalene is the first one to see Jesus after he is resurrected from the dead after his crucifixion. She looks at the tomb and Jesus is gone. In the Gospel of John, she runs and tells the disciples that his body is gone, and they go running to the tomb. They look into the tomb and see the empty strips of linen that wrapped his body and the headcloth separate from body linen. They left and went back to where they were staying, but Mary Magdalene stays and weeps. As she looks into the tomb, she sees 2 angels, one at the foot and one at the head of where Jesus' body was laid to rest. They ask her, "Woman, why are you crying?" And as she wept, she told them, "They have taken my Lord away, and I don't know where they have put him." As she walks away from the tomb, she sees a man that she thinks is the gardener, and he responds to her saying, "Mary." She cries out in Aramaic, "Rabboni," meaning teacher, but he wants her not to cling to him because he has not ascended to his Father in heaven. He gives her a command to tell his brothers and apostles, and of course she obeys. She is a beautiful example of Jesus' compassion and empathy towards women. In the Old Testament, we hear of a prophet named Job. Job is one of my favorite characters in the Old Testament. The love he has for God and perseverance he shows through the trials he endures are an example of pure obedience, which God tells us he loves more than sacrifice. God tells Satan about Job that he is the finest man on all the earth. He is blameless, a complete man of integrity, and a man that fears God and stays away from evil. Satan, of course, replies that he has a hedge of protection around Job, and that he protects him in all ways. But if you reach out and take away everything he has, he will surely curse you to your face. So God gives permission to Satan to test Job, and he takes away everything he has. But in his humbleness, Job shaves his head, tears his robe in grief, and falls to the ground to worship the Lord. I came naked from my mother's womb, and I will be naked when I leave. The Lord gave me what I had, and the Lord has taken it away. Praise the name of the Lord. Once again, Satan is in heaven, and God speaks to him and asks him where he's been. He says he's been patrolling the earth, watching everything that goes on. God tells him again of his humble servant Job. And he tells him, even though he urged him to harm him without cause, he still fears the Lord and stays away from evil. Satan replies, skin for skin. So God gives him permission to take away Job's health. He must spare Job's life. So he covers him in boils all the way from his head to his feet. Job sits among the ashes and scrapes his skin with a broken piece of pottery. Job's foolish wife says, "Are you still trying to maintain your integrity? Curse God and die." Job is then greeted with his companions. As they come to mourn him, they do not recognize him, and they weep with him for 7 days and 7 nights. But then comes their advice. He is continually tormented and blamed for being a sinner by his companions. This continues with all three of his friends. Job says if he could measure his misery on a scale, that it would outweigh the sands of the sea. Job then pleads with God to let him complain freely, for his soul is bitter and he must complain. In Job's final speech, he maintains his innocence without wavering. He states he will defend his integrity until he dies. His conscience is clear, and as long as he has breath from God, he will speak no evil, and his tongue will speak no lies. Job's obedience to God reflects his love for God. Job obeys God and prays for the pardon of his friends. God blesses Job for his obedience and gives him a double portion of what he had. This teaches us obedience is better than sacrifice, and being humble is a pleasing aroma to our Creator God. In neuroscience, we learn that the brain correlates to empathy. We learn that certain chemicals are released when we